We are just days away from WrestleMania 33. Yes, I'm still calling it by its number as much as Vince hates that. We have a bloated card. Yes, I could say stacked, but it's also extremely bloated because we need to fill up in that 7 hour time slot. Like some hours are going to be dedicated to the pre-show, and the rest are going to be dedicated to the rest of the show. And the reason why I say 7 instead of 6.5, like it was reported, was because, well, WWE likes to go into overtime when it comes to these things. So, yeah, don't be surprised if that happens to go over 7 hours. So, yeah, I apologize if I sound off. My throat's been sore recently, but, at the time of this video, so I might cough a bit and might have some issues, but I wanted to make this video. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Let's get to it. It exists. Yeah, there's been no build whatsoever. They never declared that they would be in the battle. We've seen a couple of declarations that they'll be in the Battle Royal, but the rest have just been announce these guys. My major problem is, why is Braun Strowman and Sami Zayn in this match? Just last year, Sami Zayn was in a Match of the Year candidate with Shinsuke Nakamura on NXT TakeOver Dallas, and then just a day later, he was in a ladder match at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship. Now he's in the Battle Royal that's going to be on the pre-show. Wow, what happened? Shouldn't his storyline with Samoa Joe be resolved? He's looking like he's doing this authority storyline now. He's getting involved, and since they had to go through Kevin Owens in a no DQ match to make it happen. So I'm wondering, why didn't they do that? But yeah, it's disappointing that Sami Zayn's not in the main card this year. It's kind of sad. But there's still a potential idea where he can be at in the show afterwards. But I'll get to that when I get to that. And Braun Strowman, why is he also in this match? He just had a big match. He had a big match with Roman Reigns, and now he's relegated to the pre-show. Triple H said that they have big plans for Braun Strowman. Well, this is Vince McMahon. He likes to change plans on a dime, and Braun Strowman is not really the prototype that Kevin Dunn wants. So he's going to whisper in Vince's ear saying, screw him over, he's a horrible guy. And I'm pretty sure Vince in his senile state will believe that. What surprised me most was that Apollo Crews and Mojo Rawley were the first people to declare that they were going to enter the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Mojo Rawley, he's just, yeah. Apollo Crews, he's kind of not been hanging, he's just up in the air right now. Big Show's in this match. Kurt Hawkins is in this match. Goldust, R-Truth, Primo, Epico, Curtis Axel, Bo Dallas, Jinder Mahal, Fandango, Tyler Breeze, Dolph Ziggler, Rhino, Heath Slater. And Rhino and Heath Slater, I'm not sure they were breaking up. They never did. And also, Mark Henry, Connor, Victor, Kalisto, Sin Cara, Titus O'Neil, Aiden English, and Simon Gotch are in this match. And the other thing that surprised me is, why are the Usos and American Alpha in this match? Because at one point it was rumored that these two teams were going to have a match this year at WrestleMania with the tag team titles on the line, and they had a match about a week ago at the time of this video that, yes, they were going to do a rematch, and the Usos won that tag team match in a great fashion. It was an awesome match. And now they're being relegated to the pre-show, and the titles aren't even on the line. They're in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Okay. Why? No reason? Oh, we had no tag team divisions we count too much of a bloated card and can't afford to get that? Okay. So, yeah. Now we get to the pretty much six-pack challenge for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch versus Natalya versus Mickie James versus Carmella with James Ellsworth and the returning Naomi. Now, this match was interesting because they never gave a stipulation what it was. I was curious to know, is this going to be a first ever women's ladder match? Because that would actually be kind of cool. because we never seen a women's ladder match as far as I remember. And this would be an interesting concept to see women go at it for the SmackDown Women's title in a ladder match, but no, we haven't done that. We already have a ladder match in store. It's called Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson with Enzo Amore and Big Cass and Cesaro and Sheamus for the Raw Tag Team belts. So that ladder match was out of the question the second they announced that, and the second they gave hint to that on Raw. And they have not been getting as much promo time as you would hope. Like, Alexa Bliss and Mickie James broke up, and also their motive just switched. Like, 1 minute it was because Mickie James respected that Alexa Bliss respected her and remembered her, whereas now it's turned into, oh, well, you made a deal that I would get a shot at your title. Really? Like, yeah, I'm trying to wonder that too. And Alexa Bliss has not been booked great. Like, not really, because, well, I don't know. SmackDown's slowly being Vincified, as I would like to say. And James Ellsworth, what's the point of him with Carmella? I still don't get it. Like, there's been no big payoff to it. Like, if the payoff is where Carmella wins the SmackDown Women's Championship because of James Ellsworth, then it would make sense. But, yeah, so far it looks like this has been a completely pointless thing. So all the women have done are brawl, 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 and the reason why Nikki Bella isn't in this match is because she has a much bigger match important for her with her boyfriend John Cena, and boy, will I get to that in a minute. And by a minute, I mean after I go through like half of the show. So Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Natalya, Mickie James, and Carmella and Naomi. Like, I'm expecting Naomi to get the victory here. And also for the Andre the Giant Battle Royale, I'm hoping Braun Strowman wins since he's said to be getting a push. But I'm betting Naomi's going to win this match because the original plan was Naomi to head into WrestleMania as the SmackDown Women's Champion, but then she got hurt. And now she's back, and I'm pretty sure they're going to resume course and give her the belt. Especially at her big WrestleMania moment on the pre-show. So my money's on Naomi, and for the Memorial Battle Royal, my money's on Braun Strowman. And let's move on to the Cruiserweight title match that was relegated to the pre-show. Austin Aries versus Neville for the Cruiserweight Championship. This was the one interesting Cruiserweight match since Jack Gallagher and Neville, which was a month ago. Like, yeah, like Austin Aries was hinted that he was going to go against Neville. Like, they've been teasing it for a couple of months, and then they finally went on it, and they addressed his injury, how Neville threatened to destroy his orbital socket. Yeah. So you're going to blind him in one eye. Oh, the kids might be scared of that. And also, they've been getting a lot of airtime, especially on 205 Live. Like, I like the concept of 205 Live having the bigger storylines going on for the Cruiserweights, as opposed to Raw getting them, because Raw just doesn't believe in giving the Cruiserweights a chance on the mainstream shows. For whatever reason. Because they'd be too good. But Neville and Austin Aries is a match I cannot wait to see. Like, some people were speculating, even Taz from ECW days, the suplex machine, and the the Taz mission. Yeah, he said that he believes that WWE moved it to the pre-show because they said, oh, that could steal the show. Is that a bad thing? Like, I get they're not the main event guys you would picture them as. Neville especially. Like, Austin Aries, he's from TNA, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were not going to give him that main event push and just put him in Cruiserweight. Even though he had a big match with Shinsuke Nakamura. Oh, and back to the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I know I'm going back to that, but Tyler Breeze, what happened to you, man? Okay, you know what? I'll just talk about it in the Nikki Bella, John Cena versus Miz and Maurice part. So Neville and Austin Aries, they're going to possibly deliver with this match, and hopefully they're given enough time on the pre-show since there's going to be a total of 2 hours. And the first hour is going to, and the second hour is going to be on the USA Network. So hoping that the cruiserweights get the opportunity to really showcase their talent. I'm surprised the other cruiserweights aren't getting, well, the attention. It's just this one cruiserweight match. So, are they going to be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal? If so, then I would like to see Jack Gallagher win, just for the heck of it. Because it'd be a major upset. It'd be a cruiserweight winning, but since it's a cruiserweight and it's a Triple H guy, Kevin Dunn will do everything in his power to make sure that never happens. Even if he has to sacrifice that to get Braun Strowman the victory, because Vince likes big guys. So Neville and Austin Aries, I'm expecting them to be the best match on the pre-show. Is there any contest? And hopefully the rest of the show is not clunkered up with filler, except for that big concert. Like, why are they doing the concert? Like, I get it's a WrestleMania tradition now, but like, I didn't pay to see a concert. I came to see a wrestling match. If I wanted to see a concert, I'd go to a concert or watch it on TV. Heck, I could just go buy the song on my phone and listen to it and imagine myself in a concert. What? No? We're still doing the concert? Okay. So now let's get to the main meat and potatoes of the show. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson of the Club versus Enzo Amore and Big Cass and Cesaro and Sheamus in a triple threat ladder match. Because of the Club's stupidity and interfering in Enzo Amore and Big Cass's versus Cesaro and Sheamus matchup for the #1 contendership, they had done what CM Punk had done, thinking that if they beat them both up at the same time and get double DQ'd, they would automatically not be given the opportunity, even though it's clearly obvious. Yeah, that's what they're doing. Like, really? We're really still going on that? Like, do you really honestly think fans are this dumb? And the Club should not have been surprised because they should have remembered that something like this happens in WWE. If they say that it never happened in Japan, Mick Foley should have said, well, this is in Japan. And that really would have highlighted the huge problem there. Because the Club would do better in Japan than they have been doing here. Like, I'm glad that Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson are the Raw Tag Team Champions, but I have no sympathy for stupidity concepts. Kind of highlights the problem with Raw. Now, Enzo Amore and Big Cass, I generally have lost all interest in them at this point. Like, ever since that stupid storyline with Rusev and Lana and Jinder Mahal with them, and the whole storyline started because Enzo pretty much sexually harassed Lana naked. I just feel like, yeah, there's no hope for Enzo. Like, Big Cass, he has potential. Enzo, there's no hope for him at this point. Let's just relegate him to be a manager and just have Big Cass be the muscle. So, yeah. And Cesaro and Sheamus, like, okay, they've been entertaining, especially since Cesaro gets triggered if someone accidentally spilled his coffee on him, to the point he'll get physical. Yeah, still questioning that. Cesaro is, well, I feel like he should be up there with the main event players. But I'm hoping for an entertaining ladder match, no matter how big it is. Like, yeah, we've seen two matches in a row and 2 pay-per-views, WrestleManias in a row, where we had an Intercontinental ladder match, and, oh, they realized, oh god, we put Baron Corbin and Dean Ambrose in an Intercontinental match. Okay, give the Raw Tag Team belts a ladder match. Okay, yeah, that's good. So, yeah, that's going to be an interesting matchup. Like, I know they probably won't recapture the magic as the New Day, the Lucha Dragons, and the Usos did with their ladder match, but I'm hoping for a good enough effort if they're given the time. Unless the concert is more important. And now let's get to Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin. Yeah, Baron Corbin and Dean Ambrose, they did not really get that much build. Like, it started out looking good, and then Baron Corbin attempted murder by nearly crushing Dean Ambrose's windpipe at his throat. And part of his head, actually. And then afterwards, Dean Ambrose disappeared, accepted Baron Corbin's challenge at WrestleMania, did the dirty deed, walked out, and on the final SmackDown, they had no interaction whatsoever. They didn't even show up. Like, I'm sure they showed up on Talking Smack probably, but, like, where are they? What? We're not getting information on them? Okay. So, yeah, Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin, I'm pretty sure that's going to underwhelm. Like, despite how talented these two guys are, especially Baron Corbin improving in recent months, yeah, Baron Corbin has been said he's going to probably win the IC title. And while that will be good, I'm hoping the match doesn't underwhelm, even though there's a chance it might, given the fact that it's not on their high priorities list. So, yeah. Like, I thought it was going to lead to Dean Ambrose and Renee Young, his girlfriend, to team up together against The Miz and Maurice, because that was rumored at one point early in January, but no, that changed plans for a different match and a much better promo skit stuff going on. And I'm pretty sure Baron Corbin is going to win, like I said, for the IC Championship. It will be his first major championship, especially since he was denied an NXT run. And I really can't tell if he ever had that big standout singles performance in on NXT. Like, I can't remember. Maybe with Samoa Joe, but really, I was waiting for that big standout moment to justify his eventual move to the main rosterville. So, yeah, he's been making up for it as he goes. Now let's get to one of the biggest highlighted feuds in this matchup. Chris Jericho, Y2J, the Ayatollah Rocket Roller versus the prize fighter Kevin Owens for the United States Championship. And it started out in dramatic fashion. This match has pretty much been building up since August, where they teamed up against Enzo Amore and Big Cass, and their friendship just grew and grew and grew, and it turned out Triple H told Kevin Owens to basically use him, and that gave clear motivation and reasoning. And then they did the Festival of Friendship, which I wanted to talk about, but at the time I didn't really get that idea at the time, because everyone knew, yeah, this match is going to end up with Goldberg. This feud is going to end up with Goldberg winning the Universal Championship, isn't it? Yep, it did. So Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens are now at each other's throats, and Chris Jericho finally put Kevin Owens on the list, exposed him as a Chris Jericho fanboy. I think he still is. And quite honestly, this feud has been really fun. Kevin Owens has returned to his snarling, prize-fighting, fight Owens fight attitude, which probably would not have happened if the Universal title was still around his waist, considering WWE likes to book their world title weak, especially on Raw, not on SmackDown now. But, yeah, Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens, they have such insane chemistry. I'm hoping for an awesome match. Like, this should have been one of the main events for the Universal title. And now we're getting it for the United States Championship, and Kevin Owens has dismissed the U.S. title. Like he says, he just wants to take it from Chris Jericho. He doesn't want it because he wants it. He just wants to take it from Chris Jericho and says, oh, I'll get the Universal title later. Right now, I'm just going to sell for the second prize. Okay? Okay. And it's kind of obvious Kevin Owens is most likely going to win this match unless they pull a swerve on everybody, because Chris Jericho is said to be leaving after WrestleMania to do his Fozzy tour, which will be disappointing and leaves a huge gaping hole for Monday Night Raw, because Chris Jericho was one of the entertaining aspects of the show, and since Kevin Owens is no longer doing his comedic twists, yeah, it's going to be tough to know who's going to replace Chris Jericho as the comedic guy. Yeah. And Kevin Owens selling the fact that he was put on the list like it was the worst thing to ever happen to him, yeah, that's saying something. Now we get to a fatal 4-way elimination match for the Raw Women's Championship. Bayley, Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, and Nia Jax. And to be honest, this feud could have done a lot better, because Charlotte Flair, like Sasha Banks and Bayley, they had a very confusing ending at Fastlane. Like, would I have been pissed if Charlotte Flair won the title again just to trade it back to Bayley at WrestleMania, most likely? Yes. But I felt like the match, how it ended, was the problem for me. Like, I was expecting Bayley to beat Charlotte clean and have her big moment where she overthrew the queen of pay-per-views. But no, Sasha Banks gets physical with Charlotte and the referee sees it and does nothing. Like, that was the biggest insult to me of that pay-per-view. Well, besides Roman Reigns beating Braun Strowman clean without any Undertaker interference, but that's a completely different story. Nia Jax's addition, however, came as a little bit of a surprise. Like, I knew it was going to happen, but I thought they weren't going to do it at one point because they felt like Nia Jax wasn't ready. But yeah, they clearly say, you're ready. Yeah, since this is an elimination match, I'm pretty sure Nia Jax is going to be eliminated first, and then it's going to come down to 3 of the 4 horsewomen. So, yeah, Nia Jax is just there to look intimidating and be a boss. Or a beast. Well, that beast goes to Brock Lesnar. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, Bayley has been booked incredibly weak as a champion. Like, I'm waiting for Sasha Banks to stab her in the back because she's got what she wanted. Charlotte, well, she has every legitimate means to get mad despite her robotic acting. Oh, God. And Nia Jax, she's just there to be eliminated because of a combined effort. So I didn't feel anything like I did for Bayley and Charlotte had it been a singles matchup, or Charlotte and Sasha Banks, even it got oversaturated. So, yeah, okay. So this elimination match, I'm pretty sure it's going to come down to either Bayley and Charlotte or Bayley and Sasha Banks. Because I know Nia Jax is going to be eliminated, but it will be interesting if Charlotte, Sasha Banks are the last 2 with Bayley. But Bayley, yeah, she's most likely going to retain since WWE have been building this up. But wouldn't it have been great if it was just a singles match and Sasha Banks and Nia Jax like did something else, like or you know, make a triple threat match. Like, Nia Jax is just there to be intimidating and then be eliminated after a couple of combined efforts and just be dominating for a bit, like the Big Show in the Fatal 4-Way against The Rock, Triple H, and Mick Foley. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how the match is going to most likely be like. And now let's get to a match that has drenched itself with logic, yet at the same time has an illogical problem. Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles. Okay, Shane McMahon is saying that AJ Styles let his ego get the better of him, how he thinks he's untouchable and whatnot, how his year was so great in 2016 that led to his eventual downfall in 2017. But there's a problem here. AJ Styles made a case with fact. John Cena didn't do a number 1 contendership opportunity. He just walked up, said, "Hey, Brian, can I have a match for AJ Styles' championship?" "Okay, yeah, I'm John Cena. Hustle, loyalty, respect. Thug life. Oh, wait, no, I'm not a bad guy. Okay, I'll get the title match." And then AJ Styles lost it, and he has accepted that. He said he accepted that. And then he won, and then he found out about Royal. Well, he was owed a rematch clause, and then they put him in Elimination Chamber. He demanded his rematch one-on-one match against Bray Wyatt. They put him in a triple threat match for it. And then after that, they put him in a Battle Royal. And then after that, they had him fight Luke Harper. And then after that, Randy Orton commits arson and gets rewarded for it. And he has to lose to him. So what exactly was, quote, unfair about this? Because that's the problem. Because Shane McMahon is trying to justify that AJ Styles is the bad guy here when really AJ Styles is kind of in the right. His premeditated assault was wrong, but yeah, he had made his case. He delivered his points. And he didn't say it because, "I'm AJ Styles. I'm the phenomenal one." So, yeah, Shane, you might have a problem there. And what surprised me most is that this was not a weapons-based match. This is a singles match, and Shane McMahon has never had that. Well, unless you count his Survivor Series match and whatnot, but still, he still did take bumps. But this is a singles match. This is AJ Styles' world. So Shane McMahon, good luck with that. You're not really the purest wrestler. You're a daredevil more like it. So, yeah, you might have a problem. And the other thing that bugged me was it seemed like they were going to do Miz versus Shane McMahon because Miz has been going off and off and off on Daniel Bryan, and eventually his aggression would go after the commissioner. Like, I would think that would have been the plan, and AJ Styles would have just been, like, probably doing something else in WrestleMania. Probably be in the championship match. Or, heck, I would take The Undertaker versus AJ Styles, but no, he's fighting Roman Reigns. But yeah, that's the confusing part. Why isn't The Miz after Shane McMahon? He has more motivation to go after Shane. Like, AJ Styles has motivation to go after Shane. Even though Miz has motivation to go after Bryan, but they can't do that because Bryan's injured. And I gotta talk about Bryan for a second. Could you? Okay, I get you're at this point where you don't care about the contract. You don't care if you get in trouble. You don't care if you get fired because you want to get fired in order to get out of your contract. But could you not risk destroying what makes Talking Smack so great because you're kind of shooting from the hip there? Like, I'm all for that, but like, won't that eventually lead to Vince believing that Talking Smack is too unscripted and therefore will try to control it more than usual? And Bryan showing the devil may cry attitude and not caring at all, like his I don't give a damn attitude. Yeah, there have been reports saying that Bryan has been, how do we say it, developing a safer wrestling moveset to prepare himself for the indie scenes when he gets out of his contract. And it seems like he's trying to get out of his contract much sooner than a year and a half. Okay, Bryan, I know you want to wrestle, but yeah, your health should be more important. So AJ Styles and Shane McMahon, while that has potential, the singles match portion where they can't do the weapons that Shane McMahon is known for might cause a little problem here. Now let's get to a match that people thought would not happen because of a certain incident, but it is actually happening and it's going to be an awesome match. Seth Rollins versus Triple H in an unsanctioned match, or non-sanctioned. I prefer calling it unsanctioned, it just sounds more dangerous. Because this match almost didn't happen, because when Samoa Joe made his debut, he had accidentally injured Seth Rollins and tore his MCL in his repaired leg. And it was debatable whether or not if he was going to miss WrestleMania or not. They had plans if Seth Rollins can't do the match, then we'll just put Samoa Joe against Triple H. Or heck, we'll do Finn Balor versus Triple H. But yeah, Triple H has been building this match. This match has pretty much been building since the Shield disbanded. Like, everyone wanted to see Triple H versus Seth Rollins. And when Seth Rollins and Triple H were teaming up, it created the perfect tidal wave. Like, yeah, there were a few moments. There was that year Seth Rollins' WWE title reign that was a complete disaster, in my opinion. And then he got injured. And originally it was supposed to be the main event of WrestleMania 32, but that went to Roman Reigns and Triple H. And I honestly don't blame Reigns for that, as much as fans like to think that. So, yeah, they had to get Roman Reigns because Seth Rollins was hurt. Well, there was also that report that Seth Rollins was going to fight the other members of the Shield in the legendary triple threat match that was going to happen, but like I said, he got injured. So, yeah, there was a lot of debate. There's a lot of conflicting reports about what was supposed to be at WrestleMania 32. But yeah, Seth Rollins is now officially heading into WrestleMania, and I thought the attack that happened a few weeks ago where Seth Rollins attacked Triple H when he confronted Mick Foley, I thought that was a little risky because they could easily tear his MCL since the doctors did clear him, but with restrictions, and they focused so bluntly on the leg that was injured that they're risking hurting him again. But it seems Seth Rollins is healthy enough. He's going to do this non-sanctioned match, though we might see some restriction on it. But since it's a no DQ based match, it's student versus teacher, master versus apprentice, the game versus the architect, the King of Kings versus the man. And then next year we'll probably get the King of Kings versus the dude. Even though we already got that match last year. So, Seth Rollins, in my opinion, is most likely going to win this match, but there's also the fact that Samoa Joe's not even in the pay-per-view. Like, he's not on it at all. So, that led me to think, is Samoa Joe going to get involved in the matchup because he's still working for Triple H, and he might get involved with Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens, but that leads to an interesting thing. Who's going to help Seth Rollins? Like, Samoa Joe and Triple H are going to double-team him, So, is it going to be Sami Zayn? Is it going to be the returning Finn Balor? Like, those are the only two guys I can think of off the top of my head that could help him. The other guy could be Mick Foley, but there's no payoff for it. They can't do a payoff because, one, Mick Foley can't wrestle anymore. Two, he's going to get surgery soon for his hip replacement. And three, yeah, what's the point of doing another Triple H versus Mick Foley storyline that has been sailed off years ago, back in 2000, and technically 2003. And, well, that's pretty much it on that. And I'm hoping Seth Rollins and Triple H do deliver despite the obvious restrictions that are going to be in place. But it's a non-sanctioned match. They might go all out. And the contract hold harmless agreement, yeah, that led to Bryan going on Twitter and saying, when WWE Creative Humor said, so about those hold harmless agreements, when quoting that Daniel Bryan said that as a joke, but then Daniel Bryan was actually, about it, once again highlighting his I don't give a damn attitude and risking getting in trouble, said, interacting with fans at times like this is kind of wrong to Vince. So Seth Rollins Triple H has the potential to steal the show, but at the same time it could just be a above okay show because of the restrictions that might be in place. But yeah, if you're hoping for a blood-fested war zone, yeah, there's a chance you might be disappointed. It's a 50-50 shot at best. If Rollins is able to physically do that and do all the movesets that he's able to do. But we'll see. Now let's get to one of SmackDown's top storylines. John Cena and Nikki Bella versus The Miz and Maurice. And this has been building up since around Elimination Chamber when Maurice was bumped into by Nikki Bella and spilling powder on her. Yeah, that pretty much ignited it. And then Nikki Bella accidentally crashed into her again. And then she attacked her with a lead pipe and Miz stopped her, leading to Natalya getting the victory, ending their feud with Natalya standing tall. Once again, highlighting SmackDown's superiority. Like a lot, when it comes to letting the heels get the victory in the end. But moving on, then The Miz got involved with John Cena starting an Elimination Chamber when he got eliminated from the Elimination Chamber match by John Cena, and then eliminated Miz from the Royal Rumble from the Battle Royal match on SmackDown, and then Miz came back again and eliminated him. So, yeah, this led to a war of words, which was the awesomest thing I ever saw, especially since they managed to sway the crowds from their point of views, and Miz pretty much turned face for the IWC since his Daniel Bryan promo he cut on Talking Smack nearly like a couple of months ago, back up in its early stages. So, yeah, and then John Cena just destroyed Miz on the mic, doing the same thing, saying, oh, you're just talking, you're just doing what everyone else thinks of me. And I was thinking that, Cena, do you want to talk to the Nexus? Oh, do you want to talk to Edge and Chris Jericho? Because there are witnesses and evidence to prove that you have political say. Must we remind you about your stupid plan about the Nexus match? Oh dear God, that plan made no sense. How would that help them? Like, if they're really shooting from the hip, they should have went there. I really was hoping for that. And I was hoping for Maurice to, like, bring up all these tweets and whatnot of former female superstars that were saying that the Bella Twins were responsible for not getting them new contracts to come back to WWE, that the Bella Twins had something to do with it, and how there have been claims that by other women that you're spoiled, that John Cena just spoils you. But I was expecting that to happen, but they didn't go there. They instead went with the comedic route, the whole Total Bella's BS, which was the most entertaining thing about SmackDown for the last couple of weeks. I love you, Nicole, and whatnot. And like, oh dear God, Miz was just hilarious as John Cena. Oh, and the part where John Cena claims that Miz has no character, I'm going to dispute that because Cena how do I put this? Didn't you act like a Hulk Hogan wannabe for a while with the red and yellow shirt? Oh wait, you're a Hulk Hogan wannabe backstage, but okay, moving on from that part. But yeah, doesn't John Cena copy off his character from other characters, just merge them into it and twist it around and make it something new, but mostly from Hulk Hogan? And aren't all characters kind of based off of another character? Like Bray Wyatt is based off of a wrestler who had the same kind of gimmick as him back in the '80s, but they stopped that from really prospering, I believe. And then they brought it back with Bray Wyatt, back when he was Husky Harris. Yeah, I kind of still forget about that. So yeah, both Cena and Miz are copying off of other characters. So really, this is just a few based on hypocrisy. And John Cena is trying to say, I'm in the right because I'm John Cena. But I did love the Total Bellas BS segments because I don't watch the show and I thought that was the most hilarious thing ever. Like, Marie's acting as Nikki Bella and Brie Bella, and Miz acting like John Cena and Daniel Bryan. I was expecting, like, yeah, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Bryan was in the ring, in the corner of John Cena and Nikki Bella. And they're hinting at something that I know for a fact is most likely that by now I'm pretty sure it's pretty predictable. They're all, for the past few months since SmackDown Live started, they have been doing storylines where they basically go ahead and say, Cena exposed! Oh my god, Nikki exposed! She's building politics! And this has led to the same statement. John Cena will never marry you. And now Maurice is married to Miz, and they keep showing off the fact that they're married. And, well, what do you think's gonna happen? It's kind of been pointed that, yeah, John Cena's gonna propose to Nikki Bella at WrestleMania. Wow. Too bad John Cena's leaving afterwards and going to do a movie. Yeah, you're kind of proving the Miz right here, Cena. Like, I get the Miz has also done it, so that makes him a hypocrite, but Cena, you're kind of proving the Miz right as well. And the part where Miz and Maurice don't have children, it's, well, aren't they working together in the same company? Therefore, they can't physically have children right now because of they're both touring with each other. Yeah, that makes no sense. And I don't watch Total Divas, but I keep hearing that John Cena repeatedly denies wanting to have children with Nikki because, oh, my wife left me and took the children. Yeah, I don't want to marry you or have kids because of that, because I lost my wife and child and I don't feel like going through that again because I'm a baby. Because it didn't go my way. And didn't Nikki, from what I heard, froze her eggs? According to Total Divas, like, I know that show's scripted, but there's some element of truth to that, I think. So, why didn't they go there? Like, why didn't the Miz and Maurice point out that John Cena refuses to marry Nikki because, well, his last wife left him, and they should have went with a staged idea with how John Cena, a month after his wife left him and took the kids, is that he starts suddenly publicly going out with Nikki Bella. Like, wouldn't that have led to a lot of raised eyebrows, wondering, okay, were you having an affair? Because that would be kind of shocking. Like that, I'm not going into drama like that, but like that would have been an interesting route they could have taken this with. And the whole Cena and Nikki not having kids. Yeah, I just told you why. Why Cena doesn't want to have kids or get married, because the last time he got married and had kids, they left him. Yeah, that's a little sad that that's his actual reason. Like, I get it to an extent, but at the same time, you're in this relationship with this woman who wants to marry you one day, and you're denying her that right because you're still upset. Uh-huh. But I'm getting too personal facts in this, but so I'm just gonna move on. John Cena and Nikki Bella, yeah, they're most likely going to win because they're going to do the cheesy proposal segment, and that's going to be so cheesy. Like, it's going to be genuine, but so cheesy. They're going to go with a happy ending again. Like they did have it back at WrestleMania 30 when John Cena refused to take part in becoming the monster or losing to Bray Wyatt and said just go ahead and hug a kid. Oh, by the way, I think I pointed this out already, but John Cena hitting Eric Rowan with a steel chair and the referee seeing it, oh yeah, for some reason that didn't get him disqualified. Is it because he's John Cena? Yeah, I'm just going to go with that. Now let's get to a match that has been brewing with controversy. The Undertaker versus Roman Reigns. And this feud has been underwhelming at best. Why? It's because they had so little time. The Undertaker is not around as much. But I get why. Like, I get why everything is the way it is. Because The Undertaker can't go as much as he could anymore. He can't physically do the things he used to do. Why? It's because he needs a hip replacement surgery. And WWE is saying, do it. Go in the ring, wrestle, do your best, let Reigns carry you. You have to make Reigns look strong. Oh, you need a hip replacement? We know you've done so much for this company, but yeah, we're kind of heartless a little bit. We kind of have an injury issue fetish. And he's 52. He's been going at this for over 30 years. And yeah, and Roman Reigns being the guy that beats The Undertaker and retires him, since that is most likely the case. Yeah, that's gonna lead to a lot of hate. Like, everyone wanted Bray Wyatt to be the guy that retires The Undertaker, because it would be a passing of the torch for that. But no, we're gonna go with, this is my yard. No, this is my yard. No, this is my yard. This is my yard. And they did not pull the trigger on Reigns turning heel. So I pretty much have given up now, and I've given up in less time than I did with John Cena turning heel, that Reigns will ever turn heel. Unless he goes to SmackDown and they take a chance. But since Vince likes to protect Roman Reigns as much as possible as the next big face, and especially since they're building him up for WrestleMania 34 next year with the whole Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns 2 rumored to happen, that might change depending on plans, but that is the penciled idea for the Universal title. So yeah. Oh, and speaking of Raw and SmackDown, AJ Styles and Shane McMahon, let me get back to that for a second. This should result in ending with AJ Styles leaving SmackDown and going to Raw. Yeah, that's clearly what they're hinting at. Okay, now that I said that, back to Undertaker and Reigns. And I thought they were going to go with Braun Strowman in a triple threat match. That actually would have made sense. It was logical because Undertaker and Braun Strowman have interacted with Roman Reigns. And they both hate Roman Reigns' guts right now. Undertaker for whatever reason, because Reigns said it was his yard. Let's just go with that. And not because he eliminated him for the Royal Rumble. So I'm like thinking, oh wait, are they doing a triple threat match? Because that would be kind of actually interesting. But no, they didn't want to do that. And the reason why I feel like that was the biggest mistake they could make is because there's a moment when Undertaker attacks Braun Strowman and chokeslams him. You see the Undertaker leaning on the ropes, cringing in pain, writhing in pain. Like, people were saying, oh, that's because he realized the Undertaker just let his guard down with Roman Reigns. No, I don't think it is. I think his hip's giving out. Like, they had surgery, he had surgery last year to delay the inevitable, but yeah, I believe his hip's starting to weaken again. Like, the Undertaker's been in bad shape for the past couple of months since January. He could barely move around right without that hip replacement, and WWE is expecting him to steal the show of Roman Reigns and make Roman Reigns look strong as possible. Yeah, I don't see that working. So now we got to deal with that. And now it's being said that they are finally saying, you know what? I think it's time. It's time to give the Undertaker a retirement ceremony. It's time to finally end it. And they were hoping, I have heard and I've been reading reports that they were hoping he would show up at next year's WrestleMania and fight John Cena. That match is never going to happen. And to be honest, I really hope it doesn't, because that's just another accolade for Cena to surpass. Because it's John Cena. And also, interestingly, Undertaker has competed in over 170 pay-per-views. He has won 99 of them. If he somehow beats Roman Reigns, he's going to make it his 100th victory in a pay-per-view match. Okay, that would actually be awesome. But we have to also invest in the future, and also we have to make Roman Reigns look as strong as possible, because if he looks weak, that will destroy the children's minds for some reason. So, yeah, it's going to be a sad day that this might be Undertaker's last match, but I'm honestly going to say, you did good, man. Like, you've done everything for us. You put your body on the line. You put your health on the line just to entertain us. You come back multiple times. You've done it because you love the fans. I call it a career. And honestly, if you didn't come back this year, I would have been okay with that, because your health is more important. Like, I've been preaching that since Brock Lesnar's match with him at WrestleMania 30, because really that should have stopped. Like, the minute when Undertaker got that severe concussion, could barely walk, and nearly had a broken neck, that should have been a sign, yeah, you should stop. And then he didn't, because he loved us too much. And then WWE, for callous reasons, and because they want money, we gotta bank on the Undertaker and Brock Lesnar again. And then Undertaker collapsed again backstage, reportedly, at SummerSlam. Or a trip, that's been speculated. And then he fought again at Hell in a Cell, inside Hell in a Cell with him. And I was like, wow, you just really want to kill The Undertaker for all it's worth, don't you? So, yeah, I really do hope this is Undertaker's last match. And while I would prefer a win for Undertaker to get, and then Roman Reigns eventually snapping, I've pretty much accepted that, yeah, Reigns is most likely going to win. And even if he doesn't, he's gonna be made to look strong as possible from the Undertaker. So that's gonna put more risk on Undertaker's health. And also, when they had finally confronted Bully Ray, Bubba Ray Dudley, as everyone knows him as, said that Roman Reigns, when Undertaker was about to say rest in peace, should have speared him, and then said, rest in peace. And that actually would have been a lot interesting, and also probably say that Reigns has crossed over to the dark side now. Ooh, that would have been interesting. But no, they didn't do that, because that would make too much sense. So yeah, that has also potential to steal a show. A lot of matches actually have the potential to steal a show, except for the next match I'm about to say. Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. This is a revenge or redemption storyline. Goldberg is going out as a hero. Brock Lesnar's going to win the match, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be let's say 2 minutes. And the worst part is, this is said to be the main event. Okay. Here's my personal problem with this, other than the fact that it's a short match. WWE officials have been trying to convince, and eventually did reportedly convince Vince, that we need a wrestling-based match to close out the show after what happened at Wrestle Kingdom with Kenny Omega and the other guy whose name I can't pronounce, so I'm not even going to try, because I've tried before. They said they wanted a wrestling main event and after that match. And John Cena and AJ Styles would have been the perfect match. And in fact, Triple H versus Seth Rollins would have been the perfect match. Hey, Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton has the potential to be the perfect match for it. I'm not expecting technical prowess, but it has the big storyline, and they can go at it. But Goldberg and Brock Lesnar closing out the show? Why? That's just so stupid. Like, it even should not even be for the Universal Championship, because we all know what's going to happen. Goldberg's going to lose to Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, after Monday Night Raw, is going to disappear for 3 months or 6. Or at least until SummerSlam with it. Like, I doubt they're going to do a month-by-month basis of him wrestling on only pay-per-views. So, yeah, the Universal Championship just lost value to me. Like, to see it main event the show in an undeserving matchup, it should have been Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho, but no, we're instead getting this. Goldberg and Brock Lesnar should be an undercard match. Like, fans have seen it once and they know how bad that was. And they're saying, Goldberg is saying that he hopes to do more than 2 moves and he hopes to have the match be a bloodfest. But there's no DQ and, well, they can't really replicate an MMA style matchup. And even if they did, fans will just say, oh, you're copying Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar from WrestleMania 31. So, yeah, I expect that to be, if they do really close the show with that, if the internet does not convince Vince whatsoever, and the officials also, yeah, the fans are going to boo the arena out. Like, it's going to be a much bigger negative reception than the Roman Reigns Triple H match. Like I'm going to say it. Fans are going to probably have the idea to throw garbage in the ring after Roman Reigns beats The Undertaker if that happens. So, yeah, expect that. But Goldberg and Brock Lesnar, that's going to be booed out of the building because they didn't want to see that match as the main event. They want to see the final match, the true main event, for the WWE Championship. The Eater of Worlds Bray Wyatt versus the Viper Randy Orton. And this match, has been building and building and building since October when Randy Orton joined the Wyatt family. Originally, this was supposed to pay off with Luke Harper in a triple threat match with the two, which would have been awesome. But plans changed, like, a week beforehand. So, we didn't get that, as much as a risk taker that would have been, to have Luke Harper be in the main event. Because Luke Harper doesn't have the look of a handsome guy. So, Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt is the main event, as opposed to Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. And really should close out the show. Like, I'm not expecting Kenny Omega and whatever the other guy's name is, prowess of wrestling. That should go to AJ Styles, John Cena, and Seth Rollins having the opportunity. But, yeah, Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton are expecting a hell of a big snatch and a psychological thriller storyline. And especially how it started with Bray Wyatt winning the title at Elimination Chamber, which further makes Cena's WWE 16 title reign completely superfluous, and then leading to Randy Orton not wanting to do the match whatsoever, and then Randy Orton commits arson a week later. And no one complains about that. They say, oh, that's okay. You get rewarded. Here's the opportunity to go to the main event. Also, this further devalues the Royal Rumble match, because the Royal Rumble match winner is supposed to main event the show, headline the show, the match that goes on last. And instead it's going to 2 part-timers who did not do enough to sell the story. Like, Paul Heyman had to do most of the work. In fact, he did the only work. Goldberg, he's been doing much better with promos, but he's been given lesser lines, and Brock Lesnar, he didn't even talk at all. He just stood there and get speared, and did 1 out of 5. So Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton deserve to be the end of the show. And Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt are going to do a lot better than they did at No Mercy, especially given the circumstances that surrounded it. So, Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, I'm hoping for the best of luck for you guys, especially with that crazy storyline they did, especially with the cult members attacking Orton with sheep masks and doing this dark ritual after Bray Wyatt poured ashes of Sister Abigail all over him. Yeah, that's kind of fucked up. But they did take a supernatural turn to it at the end on the final SmackDown, and I thought, yeah, this was the 80s, that could probably work, but be too dark for children back then, especially for WWE. It could work in the Attitude Era, but nowadays fans expect realism, not over-the-top fantasy, unless you're The Undertaker, because The Undertaker's been around for so long and has been timeless. But Bray Wyatt is a guy that, if you looked in the streets, you say, yeah, he's real. Like, you can imagine a guy like Bray Wyatt among the people. You can imagine that. That's what makes him so unique, because you can imagine Bray Wyatt in person. A person like Bray Wyatt. But if they keep going with the supernatural route to try and make him look like The Undertaker, that's going to be kind of detrimental, because then people will just call him an Undertaker wannabe. Like, everyone looks at him as the successor of The Undertaker's dark character. I get that. But Yeah, they only see him as a successor for dark characters, not a copy. So, I say they took a little risky there, but not the good kind of risk. So, Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, I wish the best of luck to you guys. I hope this WrestleMania is a lot better than last year. And from the bloated card, it does look like it. And a lot of matches have potential to steal the show if they're given the time. And also, we got a concert with the Pitbull and Flo Rida and two other guys whose names I don't know. Lunch Money Lewis and Stephen Marley. Oh, and Miz, the next tag team match, yeah, that's going to have a special ring announcer whose name I don't remember because I generally don't care about that. So, everyone, this was Near Reality Entertainment. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate to tune for more.